down before the beer break, we have a man who is a Mexican immigrant from Nueva Rosita, Coahuila. We will not ask legal or not. As a long time, I'm not from Arizona, we're not doing that story. As a long-time community organizer, he works with the Media Justice League here. That is a local media justice grassroots organization, part of Local 782. That is a San Antonio Music Coalition group of musicians. Currently doing art education in public schools for Art Pace. I love that place, as an associate educator. He has also played in many bands, manages the band Pop Pistol. He is a contemporary artist, and his homies are here tonight. He uses his work to talk about multicultural and ethnic issues. Please give a warm welcome for my Ernesto Olivo.
I didn't write anything down, so I think we're just going to walk through this together. And I want to thank for being asked. I talk in front of kids all the time, and I'm more nervous talking to adults than 100 kids like I did. So what do I just hit? Tap? As an art educator, it's very important that we reach out to the youth. I don't see any youth in our event here tonight, and it goes to show where they stand in our culture and in our society. And we're talking about design and water and all these different issues that are very important to us as we're growing people. And these two young Latina artists, which goes to this here, this piece was given to me by my grandmother, who told me at a very young age that I come from an indigenous background where a community was very important and vital for a society to keep growing and learning and being creative. And I use this stencil in a lot of the work that I do. This is a really cool piece, public art. What's the world without public art, right? And I like the irony of the tire missing and still being tied up. Took a picture of this in New York while I was there, and the colors were really fascinating to me. So I've had a cold, so my throat's still I get to tour a lot with a lot of bands, and being on the road, one of the best things for me is when we reach an overpass of a bridge, and it's very, very inspiring to me. And a lot of my artwork that I do in the backgrounds that I do are based off of pictures that I take. By the way, all these pictures were all taken with my iPhone, just FYI. And so back to my cultural roots, this is something that we used to do when we were growing up. For almost 8 years, we would sit down and paint calaveras for Dia de los Muertos, which I'm sure everybody here is very familiar with. And it's part of my culture and something that I'll embrace till I'm buried down under, or hopefully not. Maybe I'll be burned and thrown in water. But my biggest passion, and it's chocolate. Chocolate on anything, right? This is an apple, blueberry, raspberry, pecan, truffle, smothered with chocolate. And it just looks beautiful. So somebody thought it was a sculpture when I showed them this picture. And it is a sculpture, right? It is a sculpture. This is my best friend, Chongos. I was eating at a green vegetarian restaurant, and she followed me home one day. And I came home later, she was passed out of my front door, and I decided to keep her. And I really like the lines in the background, and I just thought that's part of a lot of the design work that I do in my artwork. Is a lot of repetitive. Our beautiful downtown. I can't say enough about our beautiful downtown, especially at night. If you haven't seen this at night, please. I'm always inspired by everything that we do here in San Antonio as architects, design beautify our city more and more every day by the extension of the Riverwalk. But also by touring, I also get to go see other places, and I'm always inspired by the open lands that are out there. And a lot of the work that I do in the backgrounds that I do are open spaces, and I always need to be reminded that there's a lot of open land, and we're not just in our own city all the time, so do it every day moments. This is an Asian fruit that I took a picture of when I was in Chinatown, and I've been touring and I've been Googling, and I wonder if anybody knows the name of this fruit. Please see me, because I could not find it. But the colors, again, the vibrant pink, and the design of all of them just bundled up. I take pictures of stacks of apples all the time. This is a picture of downtown New York City that I took when I was recently there a few months ago. And again, I'm always inspired to go into these new places because a picture like this goes to show how many people and populations are in all these larger cities, how we get to live upwards, right? And that's always really inspiring. This is a mural of Oscar Grant. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Oscar Grant, was shot in a subway. And this is a mural that is in Oakland that a coalition group of artists did, friends of ours, colleagues of ours did. And it's really inspiring to me. And it's stencil artwork, which is what most of the work that I do. I also do landscaping. I'm self-taught. I just bought books, got on the internet, and I just taught myself on the kind of soils we have, the kind of Texas native plants we have. And this isn't anything in particular other than I just love the beauty and the design of this plant. And I see it often when I'm on the road, so I always take pictures of it. Band I manage, Pop Pistol, but the singer for the band, he's a graphic designer, and he's very, very inspiring. This is a flyer that he did for the show, and you can see the main plaza and the cathedral down below, and he incorporates a lot of natural essence, and you can see the galaxies and the universe above us there, so that's really inspiring. This is a piece of work that I did. I reuse old materials to create sculptures, and this is a piece that I'm really finding hard to let go, although it's been purchased, and I've had it for 2 months, and I need to give it up. But he's waiting. And I'm really inspired by music, and not just in creating it and managing it, but also building with it. Working at Art Pace, I'm always part of Chalk It Up. Thank you, Alex Freeman. I know you're back there. And I'm very inspired by all the artwork and all the artists that come out to Chalk It Up. But again, it's all about the youth coming out to what we created and expressive, and that's a picture of a seahorse from a demo. I also do silk screening for bands, part of Local 782, a music coalition group. And this is just, I love repetitiveness, if you can't tell by all these slides. Some CD covers that I silk screened for a band called Blackbird Sing. Really proud of doing silk screening, especially for cover artwork. If you don't know what this is, I'm so sorry. I was inspired by, not obviously by the movie, but by the artwork that Star Wars Enhanced made my imagination kind of expand a little bit, and it also made me be interested in astronomy and the universe and possibilities of endless space. And, this is the neighborhood I live in, and these are the group of kids that I always talk to once in a while. They're skaters, and they do graffiti art, and they always do art along all the sides of the walls, different areas of the town where I live. And there's nothing like living in an urban setting for me. It's a very personal thing. And this is a picture I just took recently of the ceiling of the Capitol, and not inspired in any way by the Capitol, but by the actual artwork that's up in the ceiling. Just want to make that a point. Because I'm illegal, and so I don't support America. But, so yeah, that was that.